Hello, everyone. Reverend Melissa Kennedy here. I am a psychic medium, animal communicator, spiritual advisor, so many things. But most of all, I like to talk about experiences and spiritual things. So that's why I do these little podcasts or broadcasts, if you will. And I do them to help people to connect with their own stories. It helps to have someone out there sharing their process, how they work on things. So this year, right before this year, 2023 started, today is actually Wednesday, November 15th, while I'm making this broadcast. But last year, right before the end of the year, I channeled some messages in from the angels. And my biggest prediction for 2023 was it was going to be a year of the heart. And boy, when I think of matters of the heart, I always think of joyous things, beautiful things, happy things, just so many things coming to you. But I never realized that my journey would be some difficult things, health-wise, in family, even myself, and people not understanding me or my spiritual journey. And sometimes the people that are the closest to you are the ones that don't understand you. And that really hurts the most. So as I navigated through my year of the heart, 2023, I had some of those very heavy and difficult things happen to me on top of all of the other things that have just been difficult this year. But on a much happier note, I did many podcasts this year, had some great people on my podcast, so you can check them out on my podcast section on my YouTube channel, where I'll post this video if you like learning about spiritual things. But it's always a process, it's always a journey, and we're all on our own path, our own journey, and how we process things. What I was going to say is the good highlights of it is I've immersed myself in a lot of learning this year, spiritual learning, which I throw myself into with all I've got, all I have within me. I just dive right in. So I finished the Galactic Akashic Records reading class this year with Debbie Solaris. So I am a Galactic Akashic Records reader on top of just a regular Galactic Akashic Records reader and healer of things in people's records, which I actually got from the angels before I took any formal classes, that I was able to edit certain little snippets in people's books to help them heal in this lifetime. So anyway, so I finished that. I know that was a lot. It's always a lot to try to keep everything straight. And then for a long time, I had been wanting to do the QHHT by Dolores Cannon, her quantum healing hypnosis technique. Okay. And so if you know Dolores Cannon, you know that she spent her entire life studying hypnosis and perfecting it in her own way. And what she discovered was people that she was working with would all of a sudden time hop into past lives. And she just went with it, the somnambulistic state of the brainwaves of the mind. She would get people into that brainwave, which a lot of hypnotherapists, psychiatrists, professionals do not want to deal with that brainwave, that state of the brain, where people go into that deep, deep part of hypnosis. But Dolores Cannon was a pioneer, and she was an investigator, and she loved researching and gaining knowledge. And I totally relate to her spirit in that way. So I set an intention with my guides, and I said, look, when the price of the QHHT class gets down below a certain amount, let me know. And so about 3 months ago, I wake up and I hear my guidance, and it says, go to the website, go there. And so I did. I woke up, literally, I heard, go check out Dolores Cannon's website, QHHT. I'm like, okay. And sure enough, there it was. It was the price that I had said to my guides, and I totally forgot about it. Was going about all my other training and my class that I was doing and all the other things that I do during the day, every day. And so I, without even hesitating, I signed up, and I started the class that day. Well, little did I know that her modality, everything has to be done in person. Had I known that, I probably would not have taken it, because all of my work pretty much that I do spiritually right now is, on the phone, Zoom, things like that. All of my spiritual work is pretty much people far away, all over the world. And so when I found out, like, oh my gosh, like, how's this going to work? Because I live in a very small town in the middle of the country, and people here aren't so open-minded when it comes to spiritual things. It's still kind of, something that you don't really talk a lot about. If it's not religion, you don't want to really go too deep with people. They can't handle it. And I understand that. It's cool, but I'm a deep diving kind of person, always been that way my whole entire life. Esoteric, metaphysical things, spiritual things, the angels, God, Jesus, the universe, the Great Spirit, all of that, always been, such a passion of mine. And I just always like to read about those topics and learn about them. So back to Dolores Cannon, that's why she just resonated with me. So anyway, after I was taking the class for a couple of days and I got into it, that's when I learned, that you have to do all of these sessions in person. And I heard my clear audience kicked in, and I heard, if you build it, they will come. And so I was like, yeah, of course. Where did I hear that before? But yeah, I always believed that. I've built a lot of things in my life on my own, like businesses, and they've become very successful. And, I have an idea and I just go with it. And I don't worry about the little things. They just kind of fall into place, and where other people have to have a complete detailed plan. They have to know exactly how much money they need. All of that. I just go with it. If I have a passion, if I have an idea, I go with it. So anyway, fast forward into the class, about, I don't know, 3-4 chapters. I don't know exactly. Don't quote me on that. Those exact words came out of Dolores's mouth. If you build it, they will come. And I was like gobsmacked. I was like, okay, signs from the universe, right? Just signs, just come to you. You just know you're on the right path. And so, I was doing some other things at that time with my podcast, and I set the intention, if this is meant to be, give me a sign, an unmistakable sign. And so anyway, I went to sleep and I was having this dream. I'll call it a dream. Okay. And I don't remember my dreams a lot. And when I do, it's because I'm supposed to remember them, and there's a message there. So I'm dreaming and I hear on Facebook, you have Messenger and the little bell goes off and you've got a message. In my dream, I'm like, I have a message. Okay. So I go in and all my messages are there, and I see on the message box, it says Dolores Cannon. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like Dolores Cannon, she sent me a message. So I immediately, like, I'm so excited that Dolores Cannon sent me a message. Like, of course, I click the message, open it. And inside the message, she's left me a voice message. And I'm thinking, not only did she message me, but she's leaving me a voice message. That's really cool. Like super cool. Dolores Cannon's left me a voice message. So, of course, I click the little arrow and I hear my name. Dolores Cannon says my name, Melissa. And I'm like, it's like I'm having a conversation with her now. Like, it's kind of switched to a conversation where I'm actually on the phone in my dream, kind of talking with her when she says my name, Melissa. And I'm like, yeah, hello. And all of a sudden I hear her say, hello. And it just starts reverberating and getting louder and louder into the biggest crescendo of a voice and a vibration and frequency, this energy that came in with Dolores Cannon, literally was blowing me away in my dream. Like my whole body started to shake, literally. And my ears are like, I'm like, no, it's so loud. It's like thundering through me. And so I have my phone in my dream and I'm like trying to hit the arrow to get it to stop because it's so loud and so powerful. And so everything. And she brought the power of the collective, of the subconscious, of the higher selves, of the greater mind, I call it, like the mind that is and always was and will be. She brought with her with that hello. And so I finally got the arrow closed. And of course I woke up because it was so intense. And I was like, I guess that was my sign. Then I'm on the right path. And that was after I had signed up for the class. I believe that's how it went. But anyway, don't even quote me on that. So much happens. It's hard to keep the timeline all in check. But anyway, that's part of what's been going on with me this year. So working on that, and then a little healing center for myself to be able to do my sessions in person. And I've already got a list of people that are already going to come in person. So I can feel this energy building. So if you've ever wanted to have a QHHT session, you are welcome to come where I live. I have a place where you can stay, and until I get my allotted number for my level 1, it is pro bono. So keep that in mind. So if you get on my list for the number of sessions I need to do, they are pro bono. The only thing that you would have to pay for is, to help compensate for the lodging and the food and things like that when you stay here. But that's it. So keep that in mind. And also a really cool story to bring you into the now moment with me today. So I'm still working on fixing up the last bits and pieces for this little healing center that I have going on. And I'm going up the hill and I'm having a conversation with God, the universe, whatever word resonates for you. And I'm like, I'm manifesting a BFF, a spiritual BFF, because it gets kind of lonely sometimes, I'm talking in the physical, close by, not somebody far away. And I'm like, God, can you just bring me that person that understands me, that gets me, all of this stuff? Where is this person? And all of a sudden I hear, look in the mirror. And I busted out laughing, because believe it or not, God really does have a sense of humor. I learned this years ago. When I laugh at myself, I'm like, God must have had a sense of humor because he made me, and literally God does have a sense of humor. And so I actually posted that as my my little post today. I try to do them as frequently as I can, but this year has been crazy. And it says, God, when will I find someone who loves and appreciates me? And God said, that person is looking back at you in the mirror. So just remember that. So if you're looking for somebody, that's God's reminder to all of us, love yourself first, which I have learned to do. And that's a hard job, isn't it? To love ourselves first. But anyway, that's a little bit of what's been going on with me. I'm still doing readings pretty much every day. And then my job as a psychic reader. And I'm getting a card for us for this day. And it just flew out of the deck. And so, and I wanted to tell you the other half of that story. So no sooner I get that message from God, look in the mirror, and I bust out laughing. I'm laughing with God, right? Because God's funny. And that's how my humor is. And he knows how to make me laugh. And right after that, this beautiful buck deer, white-tailed deer, say that 3 times fast, walks out in front of my truck as I'm going up the hill. And so I look it up, the spiritual meaning of the deer. And it's the most beautiful deer. And I'm thinking it's hunting season. And how hilarious is this, that this beautiful deer just saunters out in front of me, perfect antlers, perfect rack, as they call it here in the country, And it says, if deer shows up, if deer shows up, it means my ear is ringing. Angels are here. You've been involved in some aggressive, negative circumstances and need to seek out safe, nurturing situations and people. And wow, that really is true for me this year. It's been pretty rough, getting beat up personally, emotionally, and spiritually as well. So, more than ever, you need to trust your gut instinct. You're poised for inciting adventure, one that will make you one that will take you down many different paths and lead you to many important insights. Be gentle with yourself and others. And I've really had to be gentle with myself this year and be loving and kind to myself, because about mid-year, I was teaching classes and like really, really had a good momentum going on. And I got struck with a health issue. And I really had to slow it down as far as that and just focus on what's really important. So in sensing in, it's just work. Keep yourself afloat, do that, and everything else will fall into place. And a white-tailed deer, you're entering into a time of plenty, but the path to get there has not been without sacrifices. And this is so true because, in being with my mom and helping her, she's had a very difficult year, but she's feeling better now. So, yeah, it's been a journey. But our card today is Tree of Life. And the chakras really stand out to me in this. In Metatron's cards, it's just felt. And it says travel on. And if you know, the deer message just had about travel in there. And this is all a journey, like a progression about how we're all just moving along at our own pace. So I just want to take a moment and thank you for listening to this video if you've stuck with me till the end. And if you have, please leave a message or comment so that I know that you've been here and that my message is not in vain. Let's support each other along our spiritual path, our spiritual journey. And I want to say I'm still doing my podcast. So if you have a spiritual story or an awakening story or anything spiritual to share, a near-death experience, anything that you would like to share in a podcast with me, I would love to have you share your story, because it's always been my belief that our stories is what connects us together. We are all very different, yet we are so much the same. We are all just trying to figure out this journey, this game of life, right? How we come and play our roles and do our things here on the planet. So I just want to invite Archangel Metatron in to my space and into your space as you watch. And you may feel a shift in the energy, a warmth, a raising in the vibration and frequency where you are. You might feel lighter, brighter. And I'm asking Archangel Metatron to help you with your spiritual path, to give you any clearing that you need today, any uplifting in only the way that an archangel can. And I'm asking him to do a complete spin, balance, clear, and harmonize of all of your chakras. And most importantly, to get you grounded in this present moment, because the present moment is all we really have. We are not promised tomorrow. We are not promised our next moment. We have to live this now. And so I thank you for sharing this now with me. And I hope that this message resonated with you and that my messages in some way inspired you to get out there doing your spiritual thing. Get your messages out there. And one more thing, I am going to be doing they're reminding me of this as I speak, one more online Zoom as we head out of this year. And it's called Sacred Timeline Healing with the Angels. And it's an online workshop, and I will be posting that on my Facebook page. And you are welcome to join the Medium Lounge or Reverend Melissa Kennedy live reading events, or go like and follow my Facebook page, Reverend Melissa Kennedy. If you would like to join this workshop, it's limited seating. I'm hearing 10 is is the cutoff point. So if you would like to do this workshop, please message me. And so I know that I have my 10 people and that we're all ready to go for November 30th, 6 p.m. Central Time on Zoom. Okay. And that is all for today. It went a little bit longer than I wanted to, but it's 20 minutes. So thanks for watching. Reverend Melissa Kennedy signing off, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye now.